Welcome to the revlog Daniel special.
It's our first ever.
It's our first ever.
It is. Hope we get good
Special
ratings.
edition.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yes, we
So
will.
today we have a new video for y'all. We are going to live out the text together and see what God does with it.
This is going to be quite an adventure, I think.
It is going to be a video.
Most of the book of Daniel is an adventure.
Yeah, that's
so
very true.
Well, I think that's where it comes from. That
Yeah.
the book of Daniel is an adventure, and we're gonna live it together. So we have three things that we're gonna do together, and we want you to come with us.
Okay.
So the first thing
And
that
they all come from, they arise out of.
exactly, they all come.
Daniel.
So the first thing that we're gonna do is out of Daniel chapter 1. We're gonna live the text, and we are going to become vegetarians for 10 days.
now, have we established our parameters? Like, where's coffee fit
So
in this mix?
I am willing to give up all vegetable. I mean, all meat. All
yes,
meat.
Yes.
So Daniel chapter 1 says they only ate vegetables and they only
Yeah.
drank water. Are you ready?
Nope.
That's what we're going to do. We're only going to eat vegetables and only drink
Coming
water.
from the guy that doesn't drink coffee.
That's right. You don't care about coffee, so
I
it is
don't.
nothing to you, Chris.
don't care at all.
Nothing.
This will be fun.
I like ham. But yeah, we're gonna live Daniel chapter 1,
Okay.
and we're gonna cook together.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Now, this
You ready?
cooking business, this is going to be interesting because we're supposed to cook without meat, and
That's right.
we
We're
have to
gonna-
come up with these
People do that.
vegetarian dishes. Vegan or vegetarian? What
I'm
are we
leaning
doing?
vegetarian, right?
Okay.
As
Yeah.
long as it would fall into a vegetarian category, we're gonna do it together.
Okay.
All right.
So second thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go on a road trip together all the way to
'Cause-
Oklahoma.
Because Daniel took a road trip to Oklahoma. Is that?
Danny took a road trip to Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Did
So
you
what-
not know
I
that
don't know.
Oklahoma was Babylon?
Oh,
Are you not aware of this?
I graduated from UT, so yes, I did.
Well, yeah, so certain prophecies that can be, interpreted in
okay,
that
so
way.
why
I'm not really sure.
Oklahoma?
There are some lions in Oklahoma.
And of course, Daniel endured the lion's den.
That's
That's right. So Daniel
So-
chapter 6. So we're gonna live that
All right.
feeding of the lions together in Tuttle, Oklahoma.
And Tuttle. It sounds like a great place.
You know, the only thing I remember and know about Oklahoma is they have lots of toll roads. I've driven through there a couple of times. It's always just toll roads. That's
It will
all.
not be a problem.
It will not be a
Toll
problem.
roads will not be a problem.
feels
for us.
prophetic to me. It feels prophetic.
Now, will we be in danger at any time?
One of us may be. The other two of us on this side of the table may not.
It depends who's driving
That
too.
is-
Okay, so but now that
throw me to the
that
lions.
gets us to Daniel 6. But now after Daniel 6, it gets
Right.
pretty different. The
does.
narrative really changes. So what are we doing there?
There's some visions.
There's a lot of visions, and so we're gonna take an art lesson, and we're gonna see if we can recreate some of these visions
Wow.
of Daniel. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do Daniel chapter 10, and we'll give you Daniel chapter 7,
Very good.
and we'll give Bryan Daniel chapter 14.
No, I don't want Daniel chapter 14.
How about 9?
Yeah, we'll
How
give you
about
a 9.
Yeah,
We'll go
I'll
9.
take 9.
Go with that.
I've already done some homework here.
Yeah,
right?
okay. There's a test.
So it's gonna be an adventure.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a fun Daniel special. We'll see what God does as we live the text. To ensure none of us cheated on the Daniel fast on day 1, we challenged each other to a cooking contest. All right, to the text. So we're living out the text here. It's Daniel chapter 1, verse 12. So please test your servants for 10 days. This is Daniel talking. 10 days. For 10 days, let us be given some vegetables to eat and water to drink. So that's our challenge. And that's all the direction that we have been given. Some vegetables to eat and some water to drink. What does that mean?
That means no coffee.
That means no coffee. He says only water to
See-
drink. So that's the challenge. For 10 days, you can only have water to drink. So that means no coffee, no soda, no tea.
I really have a problem with this whole coffee because
I think you do have a problem with this whole coffee. I think both of you have a problem with this addiction to coffee.
I want you to know that I'm 72 hours without my cup of coffee, and I'm just fine. All right.
I do have a confession.
What's that?
This morning, I woke up. I headed straight for the out of habit. I headed straight for the coffee maker, and I had a double shot of espresso in the cup.
In the cup.
In the cup. And then I lifted the cup to my lips.
Wow.
And I drank a sip.
You're already out. You're already out. You're already out.
No. Then I remembered the prohibition on coffee. And so immediately, I drank the entire cup and I said, that's it.
Did you really?
I did.
You drank an entire espresso this morning.
I did. But listen to me. Listen to me. It was out of habit. I put the cup under the coffee maker spout and out came this caffeine. And so
we've only been talking about this for a month, Bryan.
As Aaron said to Moses, out came this caffeine. So
if you look at the first part of that chapter, it says that the king ordered that men be separated because they're good looking, that they're wise.
Exactly.
That they're I'm none of these things that it describes. So I think I need to be the test case for what happens when you indulge for 10 days. You guys can go ahead.
No,
I think
that's a good point, because Daniel and his buddies were offered the king's choicest food and the king's choicest wine.
That's right.
And they turned it down. They said, we're not going to have the choice food. We're not going to have the choice wine. We want vegetables and water.
Yeah.
And we want to be the test case for that. So that's what we're living. We're living the text. We're going to live with Daniel.
I want to be the variable. I want to be that.
Some people live the dream. We live the text.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's good. Aaron and I picked our own recipes and did our own shopping. Bryan did not. We were just thankful he showed up to cook. Since Miss Betty let us cook in her kitchen, we thought she should be the first to try our vegetarian creations. It's a vegetarian taco.
Vegetarian taco. Right there. Avocado's good.
He had nothing to do with the avocado.
Sauteed. Everything is sauteed, nice and tender. Okay.
Sauteed vegetables and roasted potatoes.
Here you are, man.
Okay.
Babylonian. By way of Rome.
Yes. Tell me about the Italian seasoning, Miss Betty. Can you taste the Italian?
Not bad. It's very good.
This is just
Very good, guys. Nice and tender.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. All right.
Perhaps you might get to come cook for me one night.
Oh my.
Mm.
Anybody got 8 hours to spare? That'd be awesome. Should have cleansed the palate before this.
Vegetarian soup.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice and crisp. Good. No bites there.
Okay.
Everything is intact. Not bad at all. This is good, guys. Have to applaud them. This is very good.
And he went.
Sometimes simple is the way to go.
And he went to the effort of making potatoes. Yeah, I think that was a special touch.
Linda, thank you for all your work. I feel as though this was well prepped.
These red peppers topped it off.
Yeah.
I went to the trouble of putting in the
Asking
remaining.
your wife. Too.
I discovered that there were some remaining potatoes. I did not leave them behind.
Danny took a road trip to Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Our challenge continued in Oklahoma, where we navigated toll roads, snake handlers, and sleeping in the lion's den. Our revlog Daniel special has brought us to the savannas of Oklahoma.
Tuttle, Oklahoma.
Tuttle, Oklahoma.
Wish you were here.
Where it is bitter cold this morning, and Bryan woke up as a fugitive in Oklahoma.
Best part of the trip so far.
There's a price on my head.
Bryan did
What is
not
that
have
price?
Bryan
That
did not
price
have
is 70 cents.
70 cents.
Do you have a 70-cent price on your head?
Bryan needed 70 cents for the toll that he could not pay yesterday.
We don't come back.
Please send money.
Now, we are here to live out the text. We're living out Daniel chapter 6. And last night, we began that very thing. Bryan and I tried to have the modest accommodation of sleeping in the lion's den.
Right.
Well, Aaron, where did you sleep last night?
You know, there had to be an antagonist in this story. And King Darius, you know, he had a fitful night's rest in a very, very elegant, decadent accommodations. And so I felt like I needed to be a part of that text. So it was very, very nice.
How fitful were you last night?
10 minutes at least. I was fitful.
The opulent King Darius suite is where Aaron stayed.
But it turned out okay for these guys.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
we're awake this morning, and we're cold.
And we built our character.
We did. We built characters sleeping in our accommodations. And you'll notice we're about to go check on the lions and the tigers and feed them this morning. So are you guys ready to go? Ready to go feed some lions and some tigers? Let's go live the text. Before feeding time, a tour guide showed the cats their buffet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Oh, my.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
The bones
Oh my gosh.
crunching. They eat the bones? Okay.
yeah, they eat a chicken leg like we would eat a chip. Just crunch and then gone.
Oh.
That's a lot of calcium.
Oh my.
For you.
Okay.
Sana?
Hey, you want some chicken? That tastes like chicken, doesn't it? Because it is.
Oh my God.
Okay, Chris, you
All
got
right.
if you want
All
it.
right, my turn.
Yeah. Sana. You're done already?
Can't get over the bones.
The bones crunching
The bones, right?
is just frightening.
That was my last piece. Sorry.
Oh, it's amazing. After we fed the tigers chicken legs, we decided to go one step further and let the lions have Bryan. The lions weren't impressed. Oklahoman safaris include a petting zoo, which turned out to be Aaron's worst nightmare.
Starting to squeeze me.
If you look, turn around for him.
Oh.
Turn that way.
See?
She
The
really
face
likes
doesn't
us.
like me. I do feel the pressure. Wow, this thing is
You can feel how strong
muscular.
he really is. Your turn?
My turn?
All right, ready?
Okay. It's like this?
Yeah, just like that.
Brian, just
Did you call me Bryan? Aaron,
I'm
look.
guessing you
Look,
don't.
look,
Aaron, look.
See, y'all. You're not very nice to you. It's okay. ever bitten anybody?
But they do strike, right? Did they?
Unless you smell like a mouse, then no. You smell like a mouse, then she might.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey,
Alright, if you want me to take her anytime, you just tell me.
We're not gonna do this for very long, okay?
Real quick.
And scene.
Picture that. I'm sure April will love to see that.
Okay, we're good.
There you go.
Our final attempt of living out the text was an artistic challenge, which Aaron, for some odd reason, thought was supposed to be on his neck. All right, let's discuss our text. So we are going to bring to life the text.
How do we live this text?
In living color.
So
That's right.
we're going to bring this text to living color. Each one of us has chosen a text, and each one of us are going to put it on paper.
Okay.
In our own
'Cause-
artistic
Because the
manner.
back half of Daniel is pretty extraordinary. I mean, there's
is
some
pretty extraordinary.
amazing things in there. So
Yeah, there are some incredibly creative visions.
yes,
Through
some
the
of them
second
are
half.
more creative than others.
Kind of wild.
Some of them are more creative than others.
Okay.
So let's
It's all in there.
Now, Aaron, your vision is from chapter 7.
That's correct.
So you're earliest in the text. Help us understand your vision from chapter 7. Do you remember the reference?
Well, there are 4 beasts that Daniel sees, and one of them, the first one, is a lion with wings, and so that's the one I'm going with.
You're going to focus in on the lion with wings.
Lion with wings, and then there's a bear with ribs in his mouth, and there's a leopard with 4 heads, and so I just kind of so
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Good. And so, Brian, you're going Daniel chapter 9, correct?
I am, yes.
Now, yours is not a vision; it's a casino, correct? Is that right?
Please explain how you came to this one.
Baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Stop it.
No, this is it's lucky number 7. No, it's really not. It's the vision that in which Daniel hears that there will be 7 groups of 7 years. No.
So
70.
you're going to draw 7 groups of 7 years?
I'm going to
How are you going to draw 7 groups of 7 years?
70 groups of 7 years. That's 490 years.
I'm not worried about the
70
numbers. I'm worried
sevens.
about how you draw a year.
I'm going to draw the number 7.
Okay.
How do you measure a year? 525,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, good. So Brian is going to do math while
all
we
about
do
the
art.
love.
And so Brian's in chapter 9. Now I'm going to chapter 10. In chapter 10, Daniel is terrified by a vision, and it is this man who looks like lightning, who has a golden belt and flaming torches of eyes, and so that's what I'm going to attempt to draw. So y'all ready to jump into? All right, so are we going to show ours to the
Yes,
camera?
yes.
Let's do it. All right, so let's start. So Aaron, you were chapter 7.
chapter 7.
So let's see chapter 7.
So
what do you have?
one of the 4 beasts here. This is the lion with the wings of eagles. Now, it later talks about how all the feathers get plucked, and he's got to stand on 2 feet of men's. But I just kind of this is the pre-plucking.
We're on camera, and Brian's on his phone. You're talking about your piece, and he's texting Linda
I'm
Lee.
consulting the scriptures.
He was making Valentine's plans for Linda Lee while you're talking about chapter 7 of Daniel. We're living the text, and
I'm incensed.
he's living on his phone
Well,
over there.
for those following along, this is my lion.
That's really good.
Pre-plucking. Well, thank you.
No, I'm very impressed. So Brian, you were chapter 9.
Yes, chapter 9.
So what do you have? in chapter-
Gabriel says there will be.
Not chapter 7.
It's not chapter 7. It is chapter 9. This
Okay.
is but Gabriel says there will be 70 sevens, which is taken to be 490 years, until some of these prophecies come about.
And we have a final count on the number of 7s.
There are 490 sevens. What camera am I
Now,
looking
now
at?
does
Right
that include the big one? Because technically that's 491, and that kind of ruins the whole thing, doesn't it?
Chris?
Let's move to chapter 10. So, in chapter 10, Daniel is terrified by this vision of a man who's glowing like lightning and has flaming eyes. And so, this is what I attempted to draw with his flaming eyes and
Are
golden
you
belt.
terrified?
Well,
I think this is a terrifying
the
vision.
reaction of the camera crew was pretty priceless when you.
They thought it was brilliant.
Yes, they were
They thought
terrified.
it was brilliant.
Robert was terrified.
Brilliantly terrified. And if you notice, we have a little nod to the New Testament. Now, this is not in the text, but those flaming eyes kind of look like fish.
Yeah.
That take us into the New Testament. What do you think, Bryan?
I think it does look friendly.
That's not what we're going for.
Cut. We'll try that again. How does it look, Bryan?
It's supposed to be the opposite of friendly. This is so we're gonna go to the church and we're gonna ask the church which one of these three is best.
Oh my.
Who do you think they're gonna vote for?
Lucky 7?
The thing is, if we do social media, we both lose because his social media presence is pretty strong, and his people.
Okay, let's not do social media. Let's not do social media.
The fix is in, people.
And we'll see who's best.
Okay, I thought all three of them were rather strange. But I did vote for the one on the right, which was what, chapter 10, I think? And it seemed to be a face looking out of a cloud, and that may not have been it at all, but that's what I saw.
I choose chapter 10 because Daniel is terrified by a vision, and then he is comforted.
Okay, I voted for chapter 7, the winged lion, because when I looked at all the pictures, that one stood out to me the most. It had the most detail and just was more impressive to me.
I picked the lion because I felt that is Judah, of the lion of the tribe of Judah, and I think that lion is really, really great.
Awesome is the lion, yes. Or Daniel 7, my vote is.
All right, hi there. This is a kick. The art contest was great. A close run between the lion and the 7, but the lion got it. Thank you.
All these year 7s, this is one I voted for. Something about it speaks to all that chaos, all them there 7s, but there's only one. Yeah, there's an order to them. There's a flow. They all end up lining up in the end there. You know? Something about all them sideways lines come together into one. Beautiful. Can't replace that, so Daniel 9, that's what I'm going for.
So in my opinion, the clear and obvious winner is the lion. It has the most detail and is really nice. So
I selected the picture on the left because I thought it was executed far better than the other two.
The church has spoken. Drum roll, please. I received 18 votes. Bryan received 22 votes. And unfortunately, Aaron came in with a whopping 70 votes. So this revlog special is all I thought it would be. Thank you for
what an adventure
for this adventure. So let's go all the way back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Day 1, we were going to be vegetarians, drink only water for 10 days. Bryan failed at minute 1.
He woke up.
He woke up and
coffee.
failed.
Can a man not have his coffee?
So for the Daniel revlog competition, Bryan is already at minus 10.
Yeah,
At day 1, he's minus 10.
I forgot.
Until you didn't. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Did you have coffee that 10 days?
I did not.
And I only had water. I did not have anything else
All
those
right.
10 days.
Must be nice.
So when we got to the meals, I made
Purists.
tacos.
Yes.
I made tacos. You made a soup.
Soup, right?
That's right, Brian.
I did not make a Blue Apron. I did not.
Very influenced by Linda Lee and Blue Apron. However, I do remember it being pretty good.
So again, Brian did not buy his own food.
Right.
He does not pick his own meal, so he's minus 20. Just in the first thing that we did, he has fallen apart
I think
very quickly.
mushrooms would have made it better, but
The mushrooms were fantastic
Yeah,
in the
okay.
tacos, by the way.
yes,
Gross.
yeah. I thought we did a good job.
The food
thought
was
we-
really good.
And Betty loved it. She was very gracious.
very kind.
very kind.
She said she loved it.
Yes.
She said
Yes.
she loved it.
She said all the right things.
That's right.
about
So
the food.
I think if we're gonna call that, Brian was the loser in that one. He did not make it through on that. So, but let's move to our road trip to Oklahoma. I had a
fun
blast
time,
with
yeah.
you
That
guys.
was super fun. It was
That-
cold, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold. I was surprised that day. Aaron, what was the most striking thing for you? And
Well, when you put this in context, just looking at the size of these animals,
Oh, my
to
goodness.
spend a night unfettered with no fence in between. I mean, just seeing them would take your breath away. But just to know that Daniel, I mean, that's terrifying. And then the sound of the crunch. Yeah.
that when they
Just
ate those chicken
On
legs,
on bones.
Yes.
I mean, it was
just and it just the bone just disintegrated.
Yeah.
They just
That's.
it was.
I mean, we read this story all the
Incredible.
time and think, we know that Daniel's delivered, but just to be near them and to just feel how terrifying they are.
That's right. There's something very arresting just in seeing those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
animals.
you were quite terrified of the petting zoo.
I'm not a slithering kind of fan. I mean, you get to the first book of the Bible. These guys are not our friends. So
Daniel in the petting zoo.
It
That would have been a horrible.
That would have been worse
story
for
you.
Aaron.
It was.
It's
You're
Aaron
going
in the
to be
petting zoo.
Relegated to the petting zoo. Take him away.
it's my penance for the King Darius suite. I think was my. So.
And again, on that, Brian almost got us arrested.
Right, the breaking
That is
federal
not
law,
even-
I think is
That, and see, that was the other sound, the ringing of that bell,
The bell.
when he ran the toll booth was just
it's
another.
disturbing.
For want of 38 cents, a kingdom was lost.
It was 70.
Okay, well, it wasn't 70.
I think it was 40, wasn't it? Was it 40 cents?
It was regardless.
It was change.
He didn't have it.
He did not have it.
He was unprepared. So
Yeah, I didn't see y'all ponying up either.
So we're Brian's now like minus 30 points in our Daniel challenge.
Because I
here.
happen to be driving at that.
And so lastly, now this we took a little art lesson. I'm terrible. And there's no bones about it. I cannot draw.
I love that, Pastor, when you have us do Bible studies, that you have us draw regardless, and
Yeah.
you always share your art. And
It's terrible.
the Bible says make a joyful noise. It says nothing about make an ugly picture. So
we could just say,
yeah,
it's bad.
I'm glad that we drew together. I think that was.
But I'm just grateful that you and I attempted the challenge.
That's right.
We
followed the rules.
We followed the rules.
That's
Wait
right.
a minute. You said draw something related to this vision.
And you did math.
How hard was this, Brian? Of all of the wonderful, fantastic stories and visions in that book, 7.
You're pulling out a calculator.
I drew the number 7.
I believe that Brian's heart was not in this.
That's
There's a vision of 7.
When
7.
My youngest daughter going to
77s.
pre-K comes home and says the same thing. I drew 7 today. That's what.
Or you say that's good,
Good
Brian?
job,
No,
Brian.
No, there were 77s, and I drew 497s.
And so that was an artistic expression.
It was. It was
numerically.
abstract.
Quite
vision.
literal, not abstract. It was literal.
So when we put them on the table,
Brian loses.
Brian, yeah. Well, I mean, he's just disqualified. He's not even in the picture. I guess that means Aaron wins because he drew that beautiful lion face with wings.
How could we ever live that down? That Aaron would win.
No, I think that's.
Oh, now the
listen to the
aw
humility.
shucks attitude is gonna kick in, and
He drew this perfect little lion face, and it was just.
Well, you drew Elvis. I mean, I was voting for you. So
You did. You did. That was.
this was a great way to dive into the book.
Yeah, and living the text of Daniel, and when it all came, it's all said and done. Bryan lost, and we got to live out the text.
I'm crumpling up my childhood hopes and dreams, my list of heroes,
Yes.
including Daniel. I'm just
Pecos Bill.
On that note, we would love to hear your thoughts, and we would love to take up a collection for Bryan's Toll Booth episode.